It's our intention as we sit here today to give Mason Rudolph an opportunity to start. He's a veteran guy. He's a backup, but he's also a veteran guy.
And there you hear it. The guy that's been waiting a long time to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers is finally going to get his opportunity this weekend, Mason Rudolph. Oddly enough, it's the game right before Christmas. So is it possible that Rudolph can save the Christmas for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Let's break down some film of Mason Rudolph and see what he brings to the table, so to speak. Please hit that like and subscribe button, ring that notification bell, all that jazz. Here we go. Let's go. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So I went back to preseason. This is the first preseason game of this year against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is one of the games where Mason got a lot of action. I do want to say this is preseason, and I mean, we all saw what we thought we saw in Kenny Pickett during preseason. I just warn you with that. But let's look at what he does, and if there's anything different that he does that maybe the other two quarterbacks aren't. So on this play here, the defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be running quarters. They're going to be dropping back the two cornerbacks on the outside deep zone. You're going to have the two safeties in the inside also drop zone. You're going to have the slot corner and the outside linebacker towards the bottom of the screen, both responsible for the underneath area. And you're going to have your middle linebacker and basically in charge of the zone in the center of the field. And this is the play that the Pittsburgh Steelers are running. And as you can see, the circle in green, this is the area in the zone where I've been kind of hyping about, this entire year, that the quarterbacks for the Pittsburgh Steelers kind of avoid. It's a weak part of the zone. And in order to hit this part of the zone, you have to have a quarterback that can throw anticipatory throws and be accurate with those. The issues with Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky with these type of throws, and we saw it in this past game with Mitch, is if they sail, they can be intercepted on the back end, and you need to have an accurate quarterback to make sure that that ball don't sail. So let's see what Mason Rudolph does in this situation. First thing I want you guys to notice is there's no happy feet there with Mason Rudolph. He's cool, calm, collective in the pocket. He's not jumping around. Those were some of the things that I saw early on in his career. And of recent, what we've been seeing out of Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky, their pocket awareness and ability to stay in the pocket has been subpar. At least for Mason Rudolph, it seems like he's gone over his happy feet problems that he used to have. And look at the placement of the ball, right? Perfect into the zone. It's not high. It's not low. He hits his guy in stride, allows him to get a little bit of yak after the catch. This is the 2-minute drill, and where Mason Rudolph has to extend the ball down the field. He only had, I believe, this drive and one other one before the half, and then he had the full third quarter. So the Buccaneers defense is going to be running a cover 2 man underneath, and this is who each of the defenders are responsible for. And what the Steelers are going to do here is they're going to have a go route at the bottom of your screen. They're going to have Connor Hayward kind of go up, but at an angle, towards the sideline. And given the route that's being ran by Calvin Austin straight ahead, that would probably make you think, if you're the defender, that this route is going to cut towards the sideline down. Instead, Connor Hayward cuts upward and is open in the seam. Mason Rudolph has to make a really good throw over the linebacker and before the safety comes down on it. Also, Mason Rudolph's going to have pressure in his face right away. Look at that. He's getting hit as he throws. Now, look at where the ball is placed between the safety and the cornerback. You can see it better off of this angle. Can't get better than that, y'all. That's an accurate throw with pressure in his face. In 2 minutes as well. Well, under 2 minutes on this drive. This a couple plays later. And it's 3rd and 14. It's 3rd and long for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got to get to the 20-yard line. So they end up running these routes here to get just around where the sticks are. One of the factors that attracted Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers to Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett was their ability to be mobile. Everybody says that Mason Rudolph is a statue, although he has, I think, one of the longer runs as a quarterback against the Detroit Lions. And in this situation, he has to scramble. He ends up getting the first down. Watch, nobody's open. It's 3rd down. The only person that possibly has an opportunity to catch this ball and maybe perhaps do something is Connor Hayward at the bottom, but he's running towards the sideline. Mason would have to lead him towards the sideline. By the time he'd get to the ball, he's going to be pretty close to the sideline. I don't know if he's going to get to the first down. Mason doesn't have anybody, takes off running up the middle, makes a guy take a bad angle, and then look at when he decides to slide down. Just remember here recently with Mitch Trubisky sliding just before the first down. Mason Rudolph knows where to stop, knows where the first down marker is, and doesn't slide until he passes the 20-yard line. On this play here, you're going to have the two safeties at the top playing zone. Everybody else is going to be playing man. Again, you're going to have this opening between the hash and the numbers that comes open. Mason Rudolph, he's going to hit this guy in stride. Unfortunately, Cody White should have gone down. He ended up trying to run out of bounds, getting caught in bounds. There was a handful of seconds left on the clock. Steelers needed to end up down in the clock. They ended up doing so, but didn't get, kick the field goal and didn't have an opportunity to throw a ball into the end zone. But on this play, I thought Mason Rudolph did a great throw, a great read. Maybe perhaps he should have just gone down instead of trying to get to the other side of the field. When that ball was snapped, I believe there was like 20 seconds on the clock. It ended up, they ended up downing it with like 6 or 5. All those plays were on that one drive. Now let's transition to the second half. And what I want to show you is what he brings on the outside that the other quarterbacks don't. Bottom of your screen, you have Calvin Austin. He's going to be running a go route against quarters again, where the cornerback over top of him, number 26 there for Tampa Bay, is going to end up trailing Calvin Austin. Now here at the end, you're going to see a grab and a pull there. That's going to be a pass interference. So although it was not a completion, it ended up being a gain for a lot of yards. However, let me rewind that a little bit. In my opinion, if this guy doesn't hold or grab onto the, Calvin Austin right there, that's right on the money. Mason Rudolph has a deep throw to the outside. That's not trailing off anywhere. That's right on the sideline. I think it hit the hash mark on the sideline. That's where you want the ball to go. Now, this is the big play that Mason Rudolph had and what he brings to the Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion, and what I'm hoping we can see this Saturday against the Cincinnati Bengals. If he can get these type of throws to George Pickens, I think he can make him happy. One thing I forgot to mention on the other plays was, on that run that he had, he went through all his progressions. You saw him look from one way to the middle to the other, and then he took off down the middle. That's something that's also been missed on the Steelers quarterbacks. Now, I don't blame Kenny Pickett not being there yet. That's not his fault. He's still in his second year. Had a lot of injuries. That's taken him out of playing in the 2 years that he's been a Pittsburgh Steeler. Mitch Trubisky, he is what he is. On this play here, you have press coverage on Calvin Austin. He's going to run a go route. Mason Rudolph's going to get hit as he's throwing the ball. This is another play where he's getting hit. There's pressure in his face, and he's releasing the ball. This time he rings the bell. Check it out. Pressure in his face, getting hit right as he's throwing the ball. Strong enough to stand in the pocket, doesn't get blasted by that hit. Lays it out. Touchdown. I'm actually kind of excited to see what Mason Rudolph can do in this offense. I think he brings the deep ball to this team that really hasn't been able to utilize it very effectively. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have thrown the most deep balls, but are one of the teams that have had the least success on them. Maybe we can have that change this weekend. Let me know what you think. Mason Rudolph saved Christmas. Is it a little too late, though? And the other question I have for you guys, for those that are still here, if Mason throws up 2 TDs, 220 yards, nothing crazy, maybe even 3 TDs, right? Puts up 24 points on the Bengals, maybe even 27 points on the Bengals. If Kenny Pickett is healthy and ready to come back against Seattle, would you rather see Mason or Kenny Pickett? Let me know in the comment section. I appreciate every one of you guys. Hit that like and subscribe button once again. See you next time. Peace.